Here are the top 10 variety coins worth money that you can search for in pocket change from the 1980s. The first coin up for grabs is a 1988 S Kennedy $half coin. Now this coin you'll have to look for in the 1988 proof set. This double die obverse variety has very slight counterclockwise pivoted hub doubling on the obverse of the coin. It displays best in the letters of "We Trust." Now again, the doubling here is not very strong, but that also means that for anyone who doesn't know what to look for, it can be easily overlooked, leaving the coin for you to cherry pick. Look mainly for notching in the serifs like the W, the E, and R, and separation lines on the bottom of the S, the leg of the R, and additional separation lines on the right side of the Y of Liberty. In 2021, a coin like this was sold at auction, housed in an NGC slab with the grade of Proof 69 Ultra Cameo for $420. Now, the next variety coin is fortunately not a proof coin, but an actual circulation coin. This is the 1982 No P Roosevelt Dime. On this coin, the customary P mint mark indicating the coin's origin at the Philadelphia Mint was mistakenly left off of the working die. Thousands of these coins managed to escape the mint before the mistake was noticed, and if you come across a 1982 dime, check to see if it has a small mint mark just above the date. It could be a P, a D, or even an S. But if there is no mint mark, then you have a rare coin worth some good money. In 2023, a 1982 No P dime in an NGC slab graded as MS67 with full bands attribution as well was sold at auction for $1,080. Then we have what is somewhat lesser known Lincoln Cent variety coin from 1983. That is a real sleeper variety for those able to discover it. This is the FS102 double die obverse variety for the 1983 penny. Clear doubling is evident on all of the numbers of the date, with separation lines being seen practically everywhere you look. Doubling is displayed mostly towards the south of the letters. Additional doubling should also be seen on the letters of Liberty, with the B being an especially good example of this. In 2023, one of these pennies sold at auction, authenticated by PCGS with a grade of MS66 red for the sum of $1,140. Repunched mint mark varieties from the 1980s can be challenging to collect. The 1987 Lincoln penny offers a chance for collectors and coin searchers to discover several of these varieties. This is definitely one of the nicer varieties of the sort, with the secondary D displaying towards the north of the primary impression. Although the way that the separate impressions were punched into the working die certainly gives it a unique appearance. For this coin, we have an auction appearance from 2021 when a PCGS graded MS67 red example was sold for $1,800. Our next coin is a rather well-known variety and a spectacular example of Class 4 hub doubling that can be seen on the obverse of this 1984 Lincoln Memorial Cent. On this coin, the doubling displays towards the south of Lincoln's ear, giving it the impression or the appearance of an additional earlobe, therefore earning the coin's popular moniker of the 1984 double ear variety penny. In December of 2022, a PCGS graded example of this popular variety coin was sold at auction with a grade of MS68 red. It was able to attain a closing price of $2,400. Moving ahead to the previous year from there, this is the 1983 double die reverse variety for the Lincoln penny, an extremely well-known and daringly bold example of offset hub doubling that can be seen here. On the reverse of the coin, practically every single detail of the design is doubled to dramatic effect. Probably the most noticeable element would be those letters of 1 cent, followed in quick suit by the doubling on United States of America and the motto of E pluribus unum. Even the memorial building itself is doubled due south. In 2022, we saw the auction of an NGC-graded MS-68 red example of this coin for $2,640. Another Kennedy half dollar to look for is up for discussion now. This time, it is the 1982 No FG variety of the coin. You see, on most Kennedy half dollar coins, you'd come across the designer's initials of FG can be seen between the eagle's right-facing leg and the tail. This is perfectly normal, but on this variety, that particular detail is missing, much like the No P Roosevelt Dime that we talked about earlier as well. So if you come across a Kennedy half dollar without the FG initials just to the right of the eagle's tail from 1982, or well, from any other date either, really, for that matter, be sure to set it aside, as it might be worth something. Like this 1982 No FG coin that was sold at auction in 2016, graded by PCGS as MS67, that sold for $2,820 when all was said and done. And then you'd be forgiven for a slight feeling of déjà vu when looking at our next entrant on this list, as this is another example of a double-ear Lincoln penny, this time though from the 1988 run. On this coin, similar to the previously discussed coin from 1984, there is strong doubling towards the south of the details of Lincoln's ear that can be seen with minimal effort. And the wild thing is that there is even another variety similar to this in nature from 1983 as well, so be sure to keep an eye out for, well, all of these. Meanwhile, in 2020, a coin like this from 1988 was sold at auction slabbed by PCGS as MS66 red for the amount of $3,120. Our next entry is actually less of a variety coin and more of a transitional error coin. In 1982, the US Mint transitioned from 95% copper pennies to a copper-coated zinc core coin instead, as the pure copper planchets were simply becoming too expensive. The Denver Mint in particular was very careful not to strike any of the new small-date coins on older copper planchets. But inevitably, a few were accidentally created. You can identify this coin firstly to see if it's copper. The older copper planchets had a weight of 3.1 grams, with the newer zinc coins only weighing 2.5 grams. Then it has to have the small date design and not the older large type. And it absolutely has to have the D-Mint mark as well. If you have all three of these markers, then, and only then, your coin is very valuable. One of these transitional alloy errors was sold in 2019. Housed in an NGC slab with the grade of AU58, it sold at auction for no less than $10,800. And then, leading off from that, we also have another transitional error coin that you really could be looking for in your pennies. This is the 1983 copper cent. Remember that from 1983 onwards, to this very day, the US Mint was only supposed to strike pennies on the newer zinc core planchets that only have a thin layer of copper cladding on the outside, and not the older 95% copper blanks. But just like it happened to the steel pennies in 1943, a few of these leftover coin blanks from 1982 managed to get mixed in with the new ones from 1983 and were then struck as normal coins. To test this, all you have to do is weigh the coin. If it is 2.5 grams, then it is the newer zinc core type coins and just a normal cent. But if any cent minted after 1982 has a weight of 3.1 grams, then It was struck on an older copper planchet and is very valuable, just like this 1983D example that was sold at auction in 2017, slabbed by PCGS as AU55 for the sum of $17,625. So those were your top 10 variety coins to search for from the 1980s. If you like this, then subscribe to WNN and consider watching a video about the top 10 coins you can search for from the 1990s next. For the World Numismatic News, I am Numisman saying thank you for watching, keep collecting, and have a fantastic day.